In this video, we're going to be answering the BECE or Junior Waec Computer Science Practical. From drawing our boxes to filling in our data. This is BrainBoost and this is Computer Science Practical. Now, before we start the computer studies practical, we need to start by answering the instructions. And they said we should use CorelDRAW to reproduce the student's card with Calibri typeface and font point 24 throughout, except otherwise stated. So our font style will be Calibri and our font size will be 24, except we are being asked to change that. So let's create the card. Before we can create the student information card, we need to start by opening a new document and naming our file, and we set this to landscape. And we hit OK. Then we create our rectangular box. And we zoom in using our zoom tool. Now, as we can see, the first thing is our student information. So let's do that. We click on our text tool and we type in our student information. And then we change this to Calibri because that's our theme font style. As you can see, I don't have Calibri, but in your own case, if you see Calibri and that's the specific theme font style that you should use, make sure to use that. But for the case of this video, I'm going to be using the most related to Calibri, which is Calito. And then we center our text. Then now let's fill in our name, reg number, address, date of birth and signature. We click on the text tool once again and we fill in the data using cap locks. Then now we create all these lines and bars. To create the name bar, we click on our rectangle tool and then we draw. And we create a registration number also by clicking on the rectangle box as well and creating squares. So we duplicate this using Ctrl D. To get popular keyboard shortcuts which might be helpful to you during the exams, download the link in the description below. So let's get back into this video. Then you connect all these boxes. As you can see, the address contains 2 lines, so we have to give a gap between the address and the date of birth. So let's do that. We click on the freehand tool instead of the parallel dimension tool. We click on the freehand tool and then we attach text to base length, and then we connect, and then we click, and we do that for the bottom also.
If you've watched this video to this extent, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It's free. Thanks.
And then now we create our date of birth boxes as well as our signature boxes and the email write-up. So let's do that. We do that by clicking on the rectangular box again and doing our 224 date of birth boxes. Now, and then to do this email data, we need to create an extra space in our card. We do that by clicking on the pick tool and clicking on our rectangle, and then we expand. Let's zoom out a little bit and zoom into our new card. So now let's add our email data. We click on the text bar and we fill it in. And then we center it. So now for the application, we can see they said using font point 36, format student information as personal information in uppercase and in bolded. So they're trying to say we should turn this to font 36 instead of 24, as they said, except otherwise stated. So we should change it from student information to personal information and do the following. So let's do that. So to do that, we first change our text from student information to personal information. Change it to uppercase. To do that, we can easily head to text, change case, and hit uppercase. And we should embolden, which also means we should bolden the text. You can use this way using the shortcut Ctrl B. As I said, download the link in the description below for popular keyboard shortcuts that might help you out. Then we center our text. And they also said key in your full name in the space provided for name in uppercase. So we should type our name in uppercase. And then we fill in our registration number. We also use our text to fill in that. And now that we finished filling all our information, and we align them by using our shape tool effects by expanding, so that we won't change the font style nor font size of our text. And we also filled in our other details, and let's check our final signature and email data filling. Before we do the before we do the signature and email filling, we can see that they said key in your registration number in the space provided, and we've done that. For address home, supply your home address and provide in the space provided and italicize it, which means we should turn it to italics. So let's do that. So this is the home address, and then we use Ctrl I for italics, or we click this, and we also italize this one as well. And as you can see, they said impute your date of birth in the space marked DDMMYYY as follows: DD for date, MM for month, YY for Y, and years. So let's do that. As we've done this, the date, this, the month, this, the year. And finally, for the signature and email. For the signature, they said we should replace the asterisk in the signature box with the first 5 digits of our registration number. They said we should type in any valid email address and replace it with this. Then we can print out our work in landscape orientation. And we've typed in our valid email. So let's center this to the bottom. And we can go ahead by printing by going to file, because we're now done. Then we click on the save as icon, and then we can either save it to our laptop or print it out. Then you can print them out and you're done. So that is it for this video. So